So, I guess this is that part where I explain, my story and why I'm dressed like this. But first things first, I need to sit down. So, you've probably already heard every origin story that there is. Radioactive arachnid, alien from a distant planet, maybe just a guy who's filthy, stinking rich and has nothing better to do with his time. Unfortunately for me, none of those apply. I simply woke up one morning and discovered I could do things that no one else could. I mean, they say puberty hits you like a train, but I've been hit by a train, and it is a walk in the park in comparison to puberty. So, as you can imagine, life was pretty good for me. I could do anything I wanted and no one could stop me. My parents freaked out at first, but I mean, who wouldn't? I think my dad was just worried about the fact I could bench 10 tons, so making me do chores wasn't really an option for him anymore. As I grew, I started to discover new abilities. One year I was doing sports day and I was doing the 100-metre sprint. Next thing I knew, I was halfway to Scotland. The teachers still think there was something in the water because most students don't just disappear in a puff of smoke. So yeah, as I grew, new powers just sort of happened every now and then. The worst instance has to be prom though. I somehow managed to muster up the courage to ask out the hottest girl in school, and to my surprise, she actually said yes. Now, this may sound a bit like a teen romantic flick on like a streaming service or something, but try explaining to someone that you can't go to prom with them because you've recently discovered that you have X-ray vision, and due to a lack of control, if you walk into the dance hall, all you're going to see is a room full of skeletons dancing to the latest Black Eyed Peas hit. Yeah. Thankfully, I'm not alone in all of this. A couple of years ago, my mate Ray walked in on me holding my bed up in the air because I'd kicked my phone under there. After years of it just being a family secret that no one else is allowed to know, it's actually been a relief to be able to talk to him about it, to be able to tell him about my abilities. The thing about Ray is though, he's known as the comic book kid, so anything to do with an origin story or a weakness or whatever, he knows it off by heart. So as you can imagine, this is like a dream come true for him. He actually wants to be that guy in the chair, the one who sits by a computer, tells me where I need to be, who I need to follow, what I need to do. He even gave himself the code name of the Overseer. I know, weird, but it keeps him happy. He's actually the one who makes me wear this. Something about keeping my family safe, secret identities, all that kind of jazz. But yeah. He cares. Ray made me show him all of my abilities, which mainly included running around the world to try and get him some little tacky souvenirs. But after a while, he decided that I should become a fully fledged crime fighter. I mean, muggings and saving kittens from trees, it's not too difficult. One time though, a guy did pull a knife on me. That was pretty scary because I don't really like the idea of being stabbed. He lunged for me and the knife exploded into a million little pieces. Safe to say I walked away feeling pretty good for myself. Nothing can hurt me. Not a knife, not a car. But nothing's indestructible. Not even me. See, normally, I'll walk away from a fight with not a scratch. I'm still not quite sure what it is this guy had, but he claimed to have the ability to shoot lunar energy from his hands. He actually called himself the Lunar Warrior, which, I guess makes sense, being able to harness lunar energy and stuff like that, but all I know is this energy hurt me more than I have been hurt in a very long time. So much so that it felt like the life was being drained out of me. I think I'd actually be willing to bet that I've never run away faster than I did after that. So I always told myself that if I or anyone else I cared about got hurt, that would be it. I'd hang up the metaphorical cape and stop playing superhero. Well, that was the plan anyway. But I just received a text. Your friend seems like a loyal one. He took quite a beating before giving up your identity. If you want him to see tomorrow, then come back and face me. If you don't, then the police will find his lifeless, followed by a lot of other gruesome descriptive words, dead corpse. Thing is though, that's not my fault. I didn't ask him to go looking for this psycho. I didn't ask Ray to go out and do this. His blood is not on my hands. I don't have to go. I didn't ask him to do it. I can just run away, change my name, stop using my powers, and no one would know. No one would be able to find me. But then I'd have to live with the fact that I let my best friend die. You see, Ray was always there when I needed him. He always knew exactly the right thing to say and when to say it. He was the one with the inspirational quotes and the witty one-liners. And now I really need him, and he's not here. I am on my own, and for the first time in a long time, I don't know if I'm going to be coming home. I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm scared. For the first time in a long time, I'm feeling fear. And no stupid mask is going to change that. Fear shows you who you really are. It shows you what you're fighting